while we try to ban assault weapons, they try to ban books. We want to keep guns out of schools. They want to keep books out of schools. And it does not stop there. In Florida, they intend to tell our children that enslaved people benefited from slavery, and then proposed a debate on this point. Well, I said when I went down to Florida, there is no round table, no lecture, no invitation we will accept to debate an undeniable fact: there were no redeeming qualities to slavery.
Vice President Kamala Harris shared this message on social media today during Banned Books Week. The annual event, created in part by the American Library Association more than 40 years ago, is more relevant now than ever as public libraries and schools across the country face more and more book bans. Over 3,000 books were banned in the past school year, a 33% increase from the previous year. Nearly 4,000 books have been challenged in libraries so far this year, and that's predominantly in Republican-led states, where officials like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Texas Governor Greg Abbott have pushed legislation to ban more books and make it easier for individuals to bring challenges to have books removed. Tomorrow is Let Freedom Read Day. Our next guest is LeVar Burton, an actor to many, but to so many people before we knew him for any of his roles he's played. He taught us about the wonder of reading, hosting the longtime PBS series Reading Rainbow. Now, that wasn't just a job for him. It was a passion project, and he remains a literacy advocate who this year is the honorary chair for Banned Books Week, and he wants all of us to join in on reading the banned books.
The freedom to read is under attack. Let's do something about it, shall we? October 7th is Let Freedom Read Day. Take at least one action to defend books from censorship and to stand up for library staff, educators, writers, publishers, booksellers, and readers. No one person or organization can fight censorship alone. We all need to take action.
And joining us now is the actor LeVar Burton. He's this year's honorary chair for Banned Books Week. He's also the former host of the PBS show Reading Rainbow. LeVar, great to have you here. What an important discussion. I know you've had it a few times this week with some of my colleagues here at MSNBC, but I don't think there's enough of this conversation we can have. I would never have guessed that in 2023, this would be the thing that we're fighting. Banning books the way they've done in dictatorial regimes in the past, the way they did in Germany in World War II. We're fighting that in America.
You know, Ali, when I first read Fahrenheit 451 in high school, I thought, wow, what a dystopian, wild idea that this is. And here we are now living in that very reality. You are an OG in this fight. You get it. You understand how important the written word and a relationship with literature and storytelling is to the human being. Literacy is an incubator for empathy. And absent an exposure to a wide variety of literature, you grow up in a echo chamber,
yep.
Right? In a very narrow silo of information and experience. And so, as I say, you get it. You are a soldier on the front lines.
The thing about this, though, LeVar, is that, and this is the point you make, we can all be soldiers in this, right? This is the one thing that we all have a voice in. Part of that is the vote. We talk about that all the time. But in this particular case, it's going to your school meetings, talking with your school librarians and your principals and the teachers, supporting them, voting, attending your school board meetings, voting in them, running in them. This is the one opportunity. We're not asking people to run for president here. We're talking about the fact that this battle is going on in our neighborhoods.
In our neighborhoods is right. And so people ask, what can I do to support the effort? You just broke it down. And I think of all of the things that we can do, reading banned books is the easiest. It's the lowest hanging fruit, buying banned books for your friends, Christmas presents, birthday, Hanukkah, but going to the school board meetings, showing up, being present, seeing what kinds of conversations are going on. You know, most of these challenges and these bans have been instituted by a small number of people. In one case, the woman that was author of the ban hadn't even read the book. It was The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman, and we know that she didn't read the book because she attested the writer as being Oprah Winfrey. Oprah wrote the foreword. The woman was trying to get the book removed from schools, and she hadn't even read it. So this is what we are up against.
You had a conversation with Joy Reid the other night in which you brought up this issue of empathy, right? The idea that if you read these books about people who have a different experience from you growing up, whether it's gender or sexuality or sexual assault or the color they are, the culture, their ethnicity, you may develop empathy. One of the points you made, though, is that the people who want to prevent you from developing that empathy are people who do not want their world shaken. They don't want people roaming around with an understanding of all these other people because that affects their worldview. On one hand, I almost want to empathize with those people to say, I get it, that it's going to rock your world to read a book by a queer black guy, but there are queer black guys in the world around us, and maybe we should understand their experience too.
I really believe that this is all being motivated by a sense of fear, a panic that's going on in a certain sector of the population that sees that the world is changing before their very eyes, and they are desperately trying to fight that change. But the tide is already changed. It's too late to go backwards, but that's where they want to drag us to. They want to drag us back to the past. And, you know, my money is on the human beings who have good common sense. We should not be banning books in America in 2023. It's just, it is abysmally ignorant to not want to have the richness of life's experience through literature as a part of our lives. I just, you know, there's a conversation about being woke today, and I don't understand people who don't want to be awake. I fail to understand it. In any case, this is where we are, right? And here we are at the end of Banned Books Week 2023, and tomorrow is Let Freedom Read Day, which is just a statement that, you know, this is part of our human heritage, right? And so let freedom read, you know, riffing on Let Freedom Ring. Read the banned books. Please, y'all. I like to say that's where the good stuff is.